Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Fortress of Comic News, episode 209. I am one of your hosts, Chris, alongside my fellow planeswalker, Mike.
Oh, nice. Very relevant for this week with the new Magic the Gathering book. That I was pleasantly surprised about. Like this book's going to be a big hit, hopefully. We'll talk about it a little bit later, but today on the show we have a very special guest, Mr. Frank Martin, and he'll be talking about his Kickstarter project, The Last Homicide, in a little bit, so stick around for that. But Chris, like 2 weeks until the Mortal Kombat movie comes out. So
Is it that close?
yeah, I don't care what happens for the rest of April. Like 2 weeks for Mortal Kombat. That's
Oh, I
all.
thought I had more time. I guess
Yeah,
got to
I
work
think it
out this
is.
live stream now. Thanks for adding on to
Oh,
the payload.
oh, I thought. Well, I don't want to. I don't want to make you nervous, but let's. I mean, I thought it was coming out at least in a couple weeks. Oh yeah, April 23rd. It looks like. Yeah.
Damn.
So
Shit sneaking up on me in my old age.
yeah. Oh yeah, look, you could even go see it at the theaters now. So yeah, I did see some news that like Godzilla and Kong made some money at the box office. So that's good, seeing movies make a comeback, That's
Yeah.
pretty neat. Always glad to see that. I don't know if I'm ready to go yet. We have a private theater at like my apartment complex. I might try to rent that out for Mortal Kombat.
I think you're telling me about that off air one time, and
Yeah.
that's awesome. That's
Yeah, it's got
that's
like
the
the
move right
recliner
there.
seats. I mean, the screen isn't the size of a cinema, but I mean, it's pretty freaking big. It's like I don't know, it's maybe like a tenth of the size of like a movie theater, but that's still pretty big. It's like I don't know, 80-inch screen or something. But the most important part is it has the recliner seats. Is all you need.
Oh
Like
yeah. My
that's all that.
father has those in his man cave. It's
Oh man,
where it's at.
that's awesome.
Sunday
And
night football. As soon as
yep,
I'm done talking to you, Mike, you know
yep,
where I'm going.
yeah, I know. And it has to have a cup holder, right? Like, it has
Oh,
to include it. The
I
cup
do.
holder has to, yeah.
I'll just send you a picture when I'm over there because I got to go
Oh,
over there. It's coming back in the town tonight, actually. So I'll be over there tomorrow. I'll take a picture of it
yeah,
and
I
show
gotta,
you.
I gotta see those. Awesome. Yeah, we watched a couple shows this week, which, probably we'll talk about Invincible and Falcon Winter Soldier, but easily those two episodes are probably the best two out of the first seasons of the shows we're gonna talk about, I think. That's my personal opinion, but,
So I've been playing around with something.
oh, okay,
Terrificon is allegedly happening this year.
okay.
I'm thinking about going.
Oh, yeah,
Thinking
okay.
about it.
I got the email, was it last week about Terrificon, where it's like, it's going to be a summer event now? Um, or
Yeah,
that's,
because normally it's early
it's the
early
fall, usually.
summer,
Uh,
spring.
oh, okay, spring, yeah, yeah.
Because
That's,
it was always after Comic Con with two ends,
mm-hmm,
uh,
yep,
which I think was like March, April. So, but they're right now the dates they have are for early August. So
yeah.
it's like right on that edge where I'm like, I'm thinking about it.
I was too, so you let me know. I mean, we can get, I mean, I'd love to go to a con. And they came out of the gates, like guns blazing because they announced Michael Rooker is going to be there. Not
Yeah,
Michael Ricker, Michael Rooker. the I know they
the
draw it a
second
lot
best
less.
Michael R.
Yeah, the second best Michael R. But dude, I mean that's probably one of the biggest names they've had. I mean they had the Stranger Things actors last time we were there. I I gotta like they sort of listed all the things he was in. It's like this is Yondu. It doesn't matter what the hell else he's done, but besides like the Walking Dead stuff and the
When the day comes when I finally am just like, okay, I've done these things and now I'm gonna run a Comic Con
Mhm.
because that's the kind of person I am. I just always have to do something else.
Yep.
And I book Michael Rooker. It's just gonna say Michael Rooker from Mallrats.
From
Nothing
Mallrats.
else. You don't need
Can
to
you
know anything else. And
can
if
you
you don't
imagine if
know,
you should go to Terrific? We got to go to Terrificon now and be like, dude, you're the guy from Mallrats. I wonder what his reaction would be because I guarantee nobody is going there to talk to him about being in Mallrats.
Oh,
Like,
dude,
I guarantee it.
get him on camera too. Just like so, like how was it working with Kevin Smith? It's like I was in fucking Guardians of the Galaxy, motherfucker.
Like, what are you even doing here right now? That's like you going up to Robert Kirkman with a science dog, or I'm sorry, Super Dinosaur book.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I did that too.
yeah.
That's yeah.
You probably still haunt his nightmare. Oh, he still thinks about you, man.
That's still that was such a good day and a depressing day at the same time because I almost met Stan Lee that day,
Yep.
but I was like the line's too long. Mistake number one.
Yeah.
I met Kirkman, got that signed, and that's when he announced him and Adler. This is the thing that was going to happen, everybody, and it never did. Him and Charlie Adler were going to do an anthology series of science fiction comics.
Yep. Yep.
That never happened.
Never happened. Yeah, he got too busy with some other stuff.
Yeah.
But anyways, I guess we'll just jump into the news after all those shenanigans. But yeah, we'll keep people updated if we're going.
Yeah,
But you know, sometimes I think last time we went, we got in and out before the general public was allowed. Not
we
you
never
know.
went to. That was Comic-Con.
Oh, Comic-Con.
Terrific-Con we never went to. Terrific-Con,
Yeah.
if you remember, we were going to go to
Oh.
watch the Batman movie the year that
And
Adam
see
West
Adam
passed.
West. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. That's why we didn't go.
So, and that's always been one I kind of want to get to because they usually on a normal year get a lot of comics pros in.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm looking to see what the comics people they bring in because if I start seeing Stegman and Snyder and Capullo on that list, I'm more and more I'm gonna be like, Mike, we're doing it.
Yeah, we're gonna have
Get
to.
your mask ready.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, one of us is gonna have to, kiss Capu on the mouth, and that's without a mask. I don't know.
We'll both be vaccinated.
Yeah,
by then.
yeah, it'll be fine. He's probably has so many other crazy diseases from just being so metal. But anyways, we love you, Capullo. We're not trying to slander you at all. Allegedly. Okay, so we got a new Loki trailer this week. What did you think?
I mean, it look cool.
Yeah, looks like more like Loki and doing Loki shit.
Yeah, it didn't show me a whole lot other than the fact that it seems like the premise of this show is the timeline's fucked up. So hey, Loki, fix it.
Yeah.
Which shenanigans abound because why would we get Loki to fix it? But
right, yeah, the trickster god. Yeah, makes sense.
I got no reason to believe the show will be anything less than great.
Oh yeah, I mean, come on. I mean,
we'll talk about Falcon Winter Soldier later, but like between that and what we got from WandaVision,
yep,
complete faith in this show.
Now this was really surprising from what we got originally. I mean, we didn't see a whole lot originally, but now we got the Jupiter's Legacy trailer, and this thing was action packed. We saw all the characters from the comic series pretty much. We saw the costumes. Yeah, and immediately people are starting to say like, oh, is this just the boys, discounted boys or something like that? But I mean, you got to watch it to know it's a little more serious than that. It's not going to be as I wouldn't say lighthearted, but I mean, The Boys is definitely a dark comedy.
Yeah, and this is more of a. I mean, it always gets compared to Kingdom Come, but I don't like that comparison.
No, yeah,
because it's really about like passing the baton to the new generation. That's really what it is at the end of the day.
Yeah, where it's like Kingdom Come didn't they never did that. They were just.
It gets that comparison because it has old superheroes and then hey, new ones are taking over, and that's at the end of the day Kingdom Come's kind of about is.
But it's more about the divide between the new generation, right?
Yeah, and like how the new generation takes their fame from being superheroes and uses it in different ways. Where the old guard was kind of like, we're just here to protect, and
right. Yeah, and I think it looks great. I mean, there's some shots that are right from the comic pages, and yeah, and I think. I mean, if nobody knows what it is, I mean, I think it's like what 4 issues or 6 issues, the original story.
I think the first one was 6. Did Quietly do 2 volumes?
I can't remember. Because
I
I
think
think they went.
Quietly did 2 volumes. So there's two
Yeah.
Jupiter's Legacies, and
Yep.
then there's I forget what they called the other series,
Was
but
it
it's
Jupiter's
basically the
Circle?
prequel. That's probably it. And it
Yeah,
was the
Jupiter's.
prequel comic.
Yep. Yep.
So I feel like you could mix in some of that with this to
Mhm.
kind of, stretch out
Yeah.
this show.
Yeah.
Um, I love this trailer because it did one thing really great, which was bring in the comic fans to show those like iconic scenes that when I saw them, I was like, oh, I remember that from the comic. Oh, and it's been
Yeah.
years since I read
Right.
the book.
Yeah. It's been so long.
And I thought they were strong enough where people who didn't know the comic would look at it and say, that looks cool. I want to know what that is.
Mhm. Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
I'm finally excited for this show.
Yeah.
Finally.
But it's about time Netflix released something. Let's go. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
HBO Maxes and Disney are kind of releasing things left, and Amazon with Invincible. We're going to talk about that. So, um, yeah. So let's talk Falcon Winter Soldier. Man, what a friggin' episode. Um, I mean, spoilers for Falcon Winter Soldier and Invincible. If you don't want them, skip ahead 10 minutes. I'm just gonna say the ending shot of that episode uh with the Cap and the bloody shield. I knew it was coming. You got to see it coming, right? Like if they don't end the episode with him standing there with a bloody shield, like something I haven't seen before, they're dumb, and they did, and I was like, that's perfect. Like that's how you end the episode. What do you? I mean, you
So
must have loved.
Wyatt Russell, who's
Yeah.
playing Walker,
Hmm.
which by the way, learned that that's Kurt Russell's kid.
Of course it is.
Um,
That's awesome. I didn't know that.
this dude was literally born to be an actor.
Hmm.
When that moment when his partner goes down, Battlestar. When Battlestar goes down
Yeah.
and like he hits the pillar and his neck snaps,
Yeah.
and you saw the look in Walker's eye, and I remember thinking like somebody's gonna fucking die.
Yeah. Someone's
Like,
dead. Yeah. Right.
like
Right.
I
Yeah.
saw that in his eyes, and
Yep.
that's to me like that shows what a great actor he is.
Hmm.
It's so phenomenal.
My question is, they didn't show him taking the serum, right? Did I miss that?
No, they showed him. So earlier in the episode,
They show him taking it,
yeah,
like
they show
stealing it.
Zemo kind of smashing the
So,
serums, and one gets out, and
but
that's when he has the moment with Battlestar where he's sitting there going like, "If you could take it, would you?" So the implication was that he took it, and then he's kind of sitting around going, "Hey, should I take this? Is it right?"
yeah.
And then when Battlestar, kind of his, North Star in
Hmm.
this world, says, "Of course." Like, can you imagine how people we would have saved back in
Right. Right.
Afghanistan?
Yeah.
That's when I was like, okay, so he's going to take it. And as soon as
Um.
he hit that guy and he flew away, I was like,
Yeah.
so he's a super soldier now. Okay.
Yeah. Pretty much. But now we're gonna see him the slow decline into madness of the U.S. agent.
Yeah, which I'm so excited.
Which you can see where this season's got to leave off with him becoming U.S. agent. We go into second season with that, right? I mean, it's
Yeah, because this season's going to end with Sam taking the shield. Like,
another thing we got in this episode. We got a glimpse of Bucky back at Wakanda because we got that amazing fight scene with the Wakandan warriors. Uh, they kick everyone's ass in the room. And then one of them holding the shield too. That was awesome. And they're like, no, leave the shield. And it's like, oh man. Uh, we get like and it reminded me so much of like watching Arrow when he's back on the island because they go there literally every episode. But this one was like they give you a glimpse of Bucky, getting healed at Wakanda, his mind or whatever. Which I maybe we'll get a little more of that hopefully, because I think that's interesting. They've talked about it a little bit here and there. That was really cool to see.
that scene, though, was so good. Like, them doing the Russian code words over again, and
Hmm.
Bucky just being like, trying to hold back, and he's
Yeah,
crying. And
yeah.
that was a powerful moment. I loved that scene was great. But my
Mhm.
all-time favorite scene of this entire show right now is Walker and Battlestar getting their asses kicked by Wakandans,
Yeah.
and just Zemo being Zemo,
Jerky.
sitting in the background drinking whiskey,
Yeah.
and then he's just like, after he watches them for a few minutes, being like, "Oh, this is interesting." He's like, "I'm gonna go to the bathroom," and just like,
Yeah.
"See ya."
He and they refer to it as he pulled an El Chapo because he had
Yeah,
he had like a hole under the toilet in the bathroom. So that was amazing. There's a lot of memes of him coming out of here. The extended dance scene with him. It's just I love what Zemo has turned into this season.
Yeah.
I think it's really good. I think this show's amazing. Well, we have what 2 episodes left this season, so
Yeah. And yeah, the release the Zemo cut was a funny little 2-day thing that happened.
yeah, that was awesome. Uh, I mean, this episode is almost an hour long though, so we almost have a full movie left of
Yeah,
material.
I'm all
I
about it.
I
I'm
really
all about
wasn't like when he was smashing his head in with the with the shield. I was like, they can't show blood. This is Disney. And then it was like they did the they did the full like shot of like he's hitting him. There's no blood, and then oh bam, there's blood, and it was like okay, this is not your father's Captain America story.
In my head, I'm just like, is he decapitating that man?
Yeah, like yeah.
Like, and it was just shots to the chest, just
Yeah.
shots to the chest.
Yeah.
But for a minute there, I'm just like, holy shit, Walker's gonna be standing over a body without a head and a bloody cap shield. This is gonna be insane.
Yeah.
And I
what
got
an
part
image.
of it.
What an image. I mean, that was awesome. I can't wait to. A little crazy that Zemo was destroyed the serum though. I didn't think that was the route he was going to take, but he smashed all the serum up.
I think it's gonna be revealed that he grabbed one for himself
Hmm.
and smashed the rest. So like, because that seems like a Zemo thing. Like, take
Yeah.
this, and nobody else can have it.
Yep. Another great episode to talk about this week, Invincible episode number 4, I believe. But the main reason for my wallpaper today, and I tweeted out that picture of my T-shirt that I had before it was cool. Just saying, I'm just saying, you can't order them now, okay? I've had it for years. Of Battle Beast showing up in this episode. So many cool things happen. I mean, we start to see like, um, Eve starting to stick up for Mark as he's like never there for his girlfriend, and then the final reason he's not there is because he gets put in the hospital because Machine Head hires Battle Beast to kick everyone's ass, and at first you see him in the background, you're like, holy shit, it's Battle Beast. Are they gonna do it? Are they gonna show like how strong this guy is? Because like he's just there with like a ragtag, list of villains, and then he goes Battle Beast on everyone. Like, and that's his character. He just shreds through everybody. I mean, he can go toe to toe with Thrag and Omni Man. So we have yet to see that. Uh, what an episode. You see Robot up to no good with the clones, stealing their DNA because he's trying to clone some, probably Rexplode. Um, I the show's so good. I mean, they're doing all the great things. We see the divide now between the mother and the father. She's such a powerful character without powers, right? Like, I was the one who taught you how to be a, basically Superman, Omni-Man. So you don't think I can do that with our son? He's like, whoa, like, damn, you got put in your place, and she doesn't even have powers, dude. You know what I mean? Like, so many great things happening this episode. And then come to find out, the voice behind Battle Beast. Do you want to reveal it?
It's fucking Worf.
It's Worf from the Next Generation. Like, I knew it was very familiar. Then I look it up. I'm like, oh my god, that really, because like Amazon does that thing where you pause it and it shows everybody on the screen, the voice actors, which is amazing. I love that feature.
Great feature.
And it's Worf. I was like, that. What a brilliant casting for the voice of Battle Beast as Worf himself from Next Generation. Like, even the cast alone is incredible, and then to just like keep pulling people off the bench like that, like, I mean, kudos to those guys making that show. It is amazing.
And then I wish I looked it up, but the voice actor for Machine Head, and obviously there was some distortion added to his voice.
Yeah, there's auto-tune going on.
But I love that decision.
Yeah,
that was awesome.
It was like kind of weird and like it was kind of creepy and funny at the same time. Like the weird, like, because he has like auto tune, but he's like part android, So Yeah, that was crazy. I mean, we get the reveal that Cecil takes some of the Vulturemite's blood to try to figure out a way to kill the Vulturemites, and we know that they can't really be killed by anything. And then his wife finds the notebook in the closet, revealing like, oh, there has to be evidence on the suit when he kills the Guardians of the Globe. So she finds the suit. Yeah, I mean this season is incredible. I don't know where they leave this first season off because the reveals left and right have been amazing. Like you could have left the season off with like Grayson in the hospital, like getting the shit kicked out of him. But
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, and every episode's been 45 minutes. It's crazy.
So there was two really great Easter eggs in this episode too. One is the notebook. Did you see what
Yep.
the front of the notebook was?
No, I didn't.
It was the Necronomicon.
Was it? How did I
Yeah.
miss that? I guess I didn't. I didn't realize. I watched some of it on my phone, so it's like hard to see minor details.
I was watching it and I like caught it and I rewound it. I'm like, that's the fucking
It
Necronomicon. That's
was. Oh,
fantastic.
that's amazing. I have to go back and look at that. I love Evil
And
Dead.
then the Principal Winslow.
Oh, yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about. Principal Winslow is Carl Winslow from Family Matters. That was it. I was like, wait a second, Principal Winslow, and then he spoke,
Yeah.
and I was like, no, it is him. And then you pause. That was amazing. Yeah, like I
So
said, this is voice actors showing up in episode 4. Like, who else is going to show up? It's amazing. I like it. I can't say enough good things about this show.
the show's fantastic. I love it. And
Yeah.
it's really funny to me because we live in a world where you can find somebody who's negative about anything.
Oh yeah.
And
Sure.
I said something positive about the show, and somebody came at me like about how it was complete bullshit, blah blah blah.
Mm-hmm.
And their main critique was it was ripoffs of DC heroes, and I was like, you don't understand. You never read the comic. You don't understand the show.
Right.
Give it a chance. But then I watched this episode, and this episode is Kirkman doing Marvel heroes because he does the Sinister Six. He
Yep.
does Luke Cage Goes Bad.
Yep. Oh, I didn't even talk about that. Yeah. I can't think of the character right now, but yeah, that character was a huge part of the comics too,
Yeah.
and we get that whole side story of like how he becomes a crime boss. Yeah. Yep.
There's so much good in that. Like, yeah, if if you look at it at surface, everybody, like you're gonna feel that way. You're gonna feel like, oh, what? So we're just ripping off like DC and Marvel, but look past it because this show is so deep and awesome and is doing so many great things, and it
Mm-hmm.
hasn't even gotten into some of like the great moments and reveals that made the comic so good too.
Right.
So
Right.
I adore this show. Adore
Yep.
it.
And then really quick, did you see? I don't know if it was announced already, but they finally started shooting Black Adam.
Yes.
So I think it's been like half a decade in development hell, but now The Rock is in costume shooting the movie. So hopefully, maybe we get a picture of him in the costume soon because I want to see that, please. It's been long enough. Show us a picture of him in the Black Adam costume.
Yeah. It will be quite the day when
Yeah,
we finally get to see this movie.
yeah. Like holy crap, we've been talking about it for years. But anyways, let's jump to this awesome interview we have with Frank Martin, and we'll see everybody on the other side.
And we're back.
Awesome. So check out the Kickstarter and his website and all the great things he's doing. And maybe you can write a story with him if you do that little pledge. And yeah, check it out. It's cool stuff. And like Chris said, the artwork is just fits it so perfectly. So
Yeah. I've
um,
been a big
yeah,
fan of Frank's for a while, so
yeah, cool,
I was
man.
really glad to see him get on the show finally.
Comic news. This is pretty cool. DC announced a 100-page one-shot that will also introduce a new character coming this May. The one-shot is titled DC Festival of Heroes, an Asian superhero celebration, with stories from Jean Luen Yang, Ram V, Mariko Tamako, Greg Pak, and many more. The new hero being introduced is called Monkey Prince, who was inspired by the Chinese legend of the Monkey King and is written by Jean Luen Yang. I think that's awesome. I love the story of the Monkey King. There's been so many different renditions. It's tied pretty tightly to cinema too. Asian cinema. So I think this is a cool. I'd be interested to read a book about this character. So yeah.
Yeah, I'm really glad that Goku is going to join the DC
Yeah,
universe.
right. And one of those renditions is Dragon Ball Z, everybody, but the most well-renowned rendition of it. But yeah, so that's
I,
pretty cool.
oh, there's my phone. I had all the stories written down, and this is the first like 100-page special that I'm actually kind of excited about.
And the list of writers is amazing. Like,
Yeah, and I mean, after that issue of Batman Superman, Gene Luen Yang is like up there for some of my favorite writers.
yeah,
So I'm excited to see what he's got there, and I want to check it out because there's stories with Stephanie Brown, Damian, the list goes on and on and on of characters that I really like. So, and then hell, let's check out the Monkey Prince. Like I like
yeah,
Goku, he's cool.
sure, yeah.
Um,
Goku's pretty neat.
but I like the design. I don't know if you saw the design online or not, but
I'll look it up right now.
the design for the character, a lot of like yellow and red, has a very Chinese influence, since it is a Chinese legend. So I'm excited to see how they're going to kind of mix this character in with everybody else, and hopefully it's done well, and hopefully Yang gets to do, at the very least like a 6-issue series or something with him.
Yeah, he looks awesome. It reminds me of the Monkey King hero from Dota, but I won't talk about Dota on here. But yeah, I think it's really cool. And like this list of writers is amazing. And yeah, mostly Asian writers too, that's probably a huge part of writing an Asian celebration book, right? So,
Which is how they've done it, both DC and Marvel. When they did
yeah,
did the Pride one come out, or is that next month?
I think that's next month.
Okay, no offense to anybody, I get my months mixed up as to who
Yep.
gets which one.
Yep.
But like when they did the Pride one, both companies, it's all LGBTQ plus people writing it and drawing
Yep.
it. So like I like that they're doing that too. Like
Hmm.
if you're gonna do the celebration of Asian people and Asian superheroes, yeah, let Asian people write them.
Yep. Makes sense.
Yeah.
Marvel announced the next phase of the ongoing X-Men comic line will be coming after June's Hellfire Gala story. The most notable changes are that the main X-Men series is being taken over by Jerry Dugan and artist Pepe Larraz. Uh, Leah Williams and artist Valerio Schiti have a title label as Classified, and Jonathan Hickman's next book is labeled as a mystery project with a mystery artist. So they don't know what the hell is going on. If you're an X-Men fan, you don't know what's going on. Something crazy is going to happen.
Yeah, I don't know. I'll try Jerry Dugan's X-Men. I'll give it a shot.
But the
But
only reason was Hickman, right? So you're probably just going to jump to Hickman's new book.
100%. Like it doesn't
Yeah.
matter. It could be Jonathan Hickman decides that the monkeys are now fucking mutants and they're gonna be a mutant boy band in the '60s. I mean, it doesn't matter. I'll go read it.
Wow, that's actually a pretty good
Um,
pitch.
if I was a Batman, that mystery artist, John Romita Jr.
Oh yeah, because yep, we
Hound
talked
Dog.
about that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we'll see. Leah Williams, I'm not familiar with her. So I don't know. Unless it's a really cool pitch, I don't see me picking that one up.
Mm-hmm. And then one more thing for Marvel. Marvel's bringing back Moon Knight with ongoing comics from writer Jed MacKay and artist Alessandro Cappuccio. This will be the first time in over 3 years he's had his own ongoing title, and the last time we saw the hero was fighting the Avengers in the Age of Khonshu arc. Jed MacKay, dude. Uh, yeah, you got to be excited about this, right? And a writer that you like, and you love Moon Knight, so
Yeah, slowly becoming a Jed MacKay fan. I
yep.
mean, Mech Strike's been an awesome book.
Yep.
We'll talk about Magic in a little bit. Didn't read his Black Cat because I'm not gonna read Black Cat.
Yeah, I still won't read
Uh,
Black Cat. You want me to do that?
I'm sorry, Judge. I can't do it. So yeah, bring him on to a series that character I'm a big fan of. I want to see where they're gonna take it, and that takes one more character off the belt of who could what Donny Cates' next book could be. So
Oh yeah.
we'll see. I still got my fingers crossed as Captain America, everybody. But
I also hope Fantastic Four, but
I'd be down for that too.
yeah.
I would basically be down for anybody but the current writer. I forget who's writing. Dan Slott's writing it.
Yeah.
Anybody but Dan Slott. Dan Slott seems like a fantastic, wonderful human being. I'm not a fan of his writing.
Mm-hmm.
So I'd be down with anybody other than him taking over Fantastic Four. So maybe I could give it a shot.
Yeah, and with that, let's just talk about what we read this week, I guess.
Let's do it.
Might have a few books crossing over. Batman 107. This is James Tynion, and Jimenez, and then there's another story about Ghostmaker with Tynion and Ortiz on the art. So basically, this issue, Batman's trying to find out where Scarecrow is. The cops don't like Batman. Renee Montoya is actually the new commissioner, which is a pretty cool twist or adaptation here. She's a new commissioner and she doesn't want him around or doesn't want to work with him. So she's not like Gordon, you know. So that's, and then we come to find out the Saint guy who, you know, is trying to start up the magistrate program is working with the Scarecrow. Oh, big surprise!
Shocking.
The second story, you know, is about Ghostmaker, and he's fighting Madame Midas and all these like kung fu style thugs, which is a pretty cool story. There's a quick little scene where he's like having a threesome with a guy and a girl, and he like makes a comment about like, you know, like he sees sex as like a whatever, just another thing that like as a workout almost or something. It was just a weird little like quip to show that he's like bisexual. It's kind of strange. Didn't expect to see that, but I think they kind of had to like fit that in somewhere. And then this is probably one of my favorite books this week, Magic the Gathering #1. Jed MacKay and Guara on the art. This, even if you're not a Magic fan, I think you'll. I mean, #1, the art's amazing. Chris, I really haven't paid attention to Magic that much. I haven't played it in months, like half a year. I still pay attention to what's coming out, but I mean, they talk the lore, they talk about the multiverse, and the planeswalkers are people that can travel between the multiverse of the Magic, the realm. So there's a really quick like intro to the world. There's a showing of these different guilds and, you know, planeswalkers, and basically they get attacked and some of these guild members have to team up to find a common enemy. And now if you're a Magic fan, they drop some big names in there, like Kaya is one of the main characters who's a pretty popular card or character within the Magic realm. Jace. So yeah, like there's a lot of cool lore and cool planeswalkers, and I'm excited. I mean, Jed MacKay really kicked it off with his first book, even if you're not a huge Magic fan. I thought he did a great job.
Yeah, and I'm much more of a Lapse fan than you are.
Yeah.
I play very rarely and usually on the online version. But I used to really be into it, especially the lore and like the novels back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
And it just gave me that old feeling. I love this world. I love these characters. So I was really happy to finally be sucked back into it.
Yeah.
At its core, it's a cool fantasy story with comic tropes.
Yeah, with comic tropes. Yeah,
like, the multiverse is a comic trope. No one that would started in comics really. So
right.
It fits right in. So check it out. Give it a shot. Ignore the Magic the Gathering part. Just try reading it and see what you think.
Suicide Squad #2. This is Thompson and Pensica on the art. Are you reading this?
I'm not.
So this is a great issue. They're still trying to break Talon out of Arkham, and his brain is so broken that he just keeps saying "who," like WHO, who, and that's how they wrote it. Like, and he writes it all over his cell wall and shit like that. Basically, they need help getting out of Arkham because this is when the gas is attacking Arkham that we know was either Scarecrow. They think it's the Joker. So Waller sends in backup of new villains to help out / die. So there's more ragtag villains that show up to help out. We get a lot of focal point on Peacemaker this issue and like what his values are. Like I think they really wanted to separate him from Rick Flag, and basically he wants peace at all costs. Like he doesn't care who dies. The mission is peace. Like that's like it's in his name, and it's hilarious because that's all. Like he doesn't care about the other Suicide Squad members. He doesn't care about. He just wants to get peace done, and it's like he makes that as a point the whole issue. And the end of the issue, he ends up decking Connor Kent in the face, which is awesome. But basically, they wrap up the story saying they need a speedster like character to help in situations like this. Like they weren't quick enough, so we're gonna get the new speedster from like one of the multiverse, I think, that we got a glimpse of in Future State. This book's awesome. It really is making me excited for Peacemaker as a character in the movies because it's kind of the same idea of what I've seen in the trailers. So, Crime Syndicate #2, Schmidt and McCowan. First off, really great art. I think the art this issue, I like the art this issue more than the first issue. So, don't really know what happened there, but some of I know you really don't like the design of Johnny Quick, but that aside, I thought it was a solid issue. We get everybody's dealing with the Starro invasion. We get an awesome fight between Ultraman and Power Woman, which is or Superwoman, which is pretty cool. And then we find out Power Ring is like the weakness to Starro. Is like they were avoiding him the whole fight. So he starts fighting them, and then we get the little clips underneath too again of like the editor notes of like fake books, which is the best part of the book, man.
Yeah.
Those little editor notes are
1001 Emerald Knight stories. Like,
yeah. Like, come on, they're making fun of themselves pretty much. I think Power Ring, the John Stewart Power Ring, is a very interesting character. I love his design, and his suit is really cool, and it reminds me of like Starman almost. But yeah, so Owlman shows up with with Power Ring's power battery and is like, I have a plan to defeat the invasion because they kind of had a big win here, but they still need to take out the rest of the Starros.
And Power Ring's design gives me Kingdom Come vibes.
Yeah, it really does. Yeah.
So I really like that. I love the Starro design, like making him a little bit more menacing and less cartoony. That's really cool.
Yeah, that's cool too. It's cool to see him like that. And then the extra Owlman story with the Brian Hitch art was pretty cool. You get a little more into his origin, and then he's like killing. It's like his choice to start killing people. Like he was down the right path to be Batman, and then like the switch flipped of where he was like, okay, I can just start killing people because none of it matters. And then I had my last book here is Swamp Thing #2, Ram V and Mike Perkins on the art. Have you been checking out Swamp Thing?
No.
Okay, so Levi is the new Swamp Thing. He was having nightmares in the last issue. This issue, he's still having nightmares. He tells his friend Jennifer about it, that he's seeing this wraith in the desert as he's killing, people and children and luring people out of the desert and killing them. He basically understands that like he has more and more dreams and understands like what the green is and who the Swamp Thing is, and so he defeats the wraith in a dream. He basically says like, you're thousands of years old, but I'm billions of years old. I was here at the dawn of the earth. Like I am the green and I've been here forever. And so like he defeats the wraith and creates this giant type of tree that's native to like India in the middle of the desert. So it's not native to that, to that climate at all. So it attracts like he was like, yeah, like the nightmares are going away, blah, blah, blah. But then this is a huge news story that this tree came out of nowhere in the middle of the desert. And so at the end of the issue, it shows two people observing it. It shows Batman watching the news story, and it shows a guy by the name of Mr. Pilgrim who has these people being tracked, the new Swamp Thing, and also has files on Sunderland Corp. If you remember, Sunderland was the villain in Swamp Thing early days, and a file called the Holland Phenomenon. So the original Swamp Thing. So Alec Holland. So this story is really shaping up to be something awesome. I think it was really cool to do like the Indian character creates a tree native to his homeland, and then it's like everybody sees it like this miracle in the desert, which is kind of crazy. It's a great book, and the art is fantastic. It's along the lines of like the Scott Snyder and the the Alan. Oh, what? Help me out here.
The Jeff Lemire Animal Man.
No, not Jeff Lemire. I'm thinking of why can't I think of his name? Alan. The Swamp Thing. Not Alan.
Oh yeah, it's the artist for Wonder Woman Earth One.
But anyways,
Shit.
this is Alan Moore. I'm sorry, I was thinking of the writer Alan Moore.
Oh, okay.
This Swamp Thing is more of like the Alan Moore where it was like really experimental for the time, and it's not like your typical Swamp Thing story. It's really good. It's its own thing, but I'm really enjoying it. Like taking this new character and building upon the mythos of the Swamp Thing. I think it's awesome. So I'm really loving this book. And that's all I had this week.
I'm shocked you didn't have Geiger #1.
Oh, I don't have that.
I thought the first issue was okay. It sets up everything. Like, nuke goes off, dude has a bunker, his family goes into the bunker, and while he's trying to save them, he ends up staying outside of the bunker, and, comic book science, instead of dying from the nuke, he becomes Radioactive Man, not the guy from The Simpsons. And he's just a dude who like can turn all green and radioactive and like fight people.
Mm-hmm.
So we're in a kind of a post-apocalyptic world. He's a superhero-esque kind of character, and there's these guys that come across scavengers trying to find stuff, and are like, "Hey, look at this, a bunker. Maybe we can find something in it." And it was the wrong bunker because Geiger's there to, protect it.
Mm.
And then in the end, we get our like what the villain's going to be for this stories, and this is the cool part of the whole thing, which is what makes me want to come back for issue 2. Is we find out that these scavengers work for this king, who he's living in a castle during the apocalypse and has subjects and everything, much like an old English king would back in the day.
Right. Yep.
And his father had just passed away, so he just got the mantle, and he's trying to like make a name for himself and blah blah blah. And then it slowly zooms out, and it's a big picture of Las Vegas. So his castle is like one of the hotels in Las Vegas.
That's awesome.
It was really cool. Obviously, Gary Frank does the art. It's phenomenal. We'll probably get one issue a year.
Yeah.
But
that's why I didn't read it yet. I knew I had time.
It was a good first issue, and I want to see what the next issue has, but it didn't exactly blow me away in the first issue, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
And then my next two are kind of tied together. So Venom number 34, which was basically the end of like Venom in this. He was in kind of limbo in between issues, and it's him not only defeating Null in his head or in this limbo space, but he also tells Agent Venom, Flash Gordon, that you're dead, but like, hey, Carnage came back to life. Why can't you? Setting up the fact that Agent Venom's coming back. And so that whole issue was okay. It was just kind of wrapping that up and getting Eddie to the point where he could be in King in Black number 5, which is my next book, which I really loved. So Venom's back alive. Eddie came back. He's the god of light, and he ends up coming to the fight and being like, everybody step aside, then creates an axe out of Silver Surfer's surfboard and Mjolnir. And that's how he takes down Null. So the whole issue is just a big fight scene of him being like, fuck off, Null. And
that's awesome. There's
a moment where like he literally rips the symbiote off of Null's body.
Oh, nice.
And yeah, it was just this whole last issue was like Donnie being like, what are the most metal things I can have Venom do to defeat Null? And that's how it ends. I absolutely loved it. It sets up a new status quo for Venom, which is kind of interesting that Donnie's just kind of basically reinventing the character and then saying, all right, somebody else take care of it.
Yeah, for sure.
But I think all in all, King in Black is a good event book, a really good event book, especially if you've been reading Venom. So
Awesome.
Everybody go read Venom. Venom's
Yeah,
awesome.
go read Venom.
I mean, now it's almost done, so it should be collected all in a nice big trade soon.
Yep.
And yeah, and I read The Last Homicide. The Last Homicide was really good.
Yeah,
Everybody go to that
fund
Kickstarter.
Yeah, go to Kickstarter and pay for it now.
But that's everything. Mike, where can people find you on the internet?
They can find me at Fortress Ricker on Twitter. Where can they find you and or the show?
They can find me at Fortress Chris on Twitter, or the show at Fortress Comics _ on Twitter. Also at FortressComicNews.com. Everything we do is right there on that handy dandy website. And remember, everybody, if you are listening to us on a podcatcher, to give us 5-star review or whatever review system your podcatcher of choice uses. And if you're watching this video, to thumb up the video down below, subscribe to the channel, and comment. Let us know what you're thinking about the news this week, or about the podcast itself, or whatever. Just write something down there. It's cool. And if you want to be super awesome, to go to Patreon at patreon.com/fortresscomics. Everybody, thanks so much for listening this week, and we'll see you all next week.
Bye.